Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you. Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. The new porcupine on the block with the puff chest. Out the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. The blow thrower, independent flower, magical emerald holder. Give you the coldest shoulder. My spike goes through boulders. That's why I stay a loner. I was born by myself. I don't need a posse. I get it all by myself. Adversaries get shelved. Right on. Rapid fire through your skull. Shot it on, we're taking it back to the days of trying to lose control. Burning in a blaze of fire, raging through my bones. Oh shit, I'm feeling it. Jack yo! Hell yeah, fuck yeah, I feel like killing it. Jack yo! Alright.
Hey, what's up? How's that party the other night?
It was alright, but there was this guy, and he's with his girlfriend, and he's trying to get her to do something that she didn't want to do.
So what'd you do about it?
I didn't do anything.
Whoa, what? Guys, don't be like my friend here who didn't do anything. Not doing anything is part of the problem.
What?
Hey, come look at the site.
Oh, cool. Can you download the Foo Fighters?
Yeah. Hold on. What'd I do?
Yo. Fuck. Dude, can you hear me? Speak. Are you
Hey.
Oh, you haven't eaten your cat yet.
Not yet.
I thought you told me earlier you had dinner.
Nah, she's saved for desperate times.
Oh, okay.
These aren't desperate times yet.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, it's like because you told me your dog went missing, so I kind of figured, you know,
Don't worry about that.
I kind of figured Muddy was tight that month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are we doing?
Oh, let's see. If we can get Ogao in, then we can probably do Apex.
Well, he's been idle for the past 3 hours, so.
Well,
Yeah.
he's always idle because you know he's trying to hide from
Trying to hide from who?
I don't know. Maybe he's too
What
popular. People,
friends?
like bugging him. I don't know, Brian. Maybe he's you know always like idle because you know maybe he's too popular. He's got too much status. He's got to lay low for a bit. You know what I mean?
He won't even tell us where he teaches, where he is this hot shit Python instructor of the Ukraine.
Yeah. Let me ask him out one sec. Apex.
I mean, what the fuck do you even do in the Ukraine?
I don't know.
No, I mean, what's it like?
The country has the same economy. The economy of Ukraine is like the equivalent of fucking Greece.
Oh, so it's a shithole then.
Basically, yeah.
So
They're on par with Greece.
for all their
Money-wise.
hatred of Russia, Russia actually has the superior economy.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
I think it's Russia does not support anything in Ukraine, like at all.
Well,
don't have any
they hate
support
each
for it.
other. Like Ukraine's like they position themselves as a democratic Russia of sorts, but they're actually garbage.
Ukraine is basically Russia's bastard child.
Yeah, well, the
basically.
Russians are way cooler. They keep bears as pets. You know, that's pretty base.
At least they go all the way. They're not like fucking Ukrainian pussies like the Paolo.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't say it. You said it.
Just saying, it's kind of gay.
You're the one who said it, not me.
You would love to say it, don't you?
Oh, I would love to say it, but he's not here, so I can't say it to his face.
Yeah. Oh, he's not replying. What a faggot.
It's fine. We have Siege.
Yes.
We may as well do something. Do you want to give him 5 minutes? I can smoke.
I'm not gonna wait for him.
That's true. That would.
We don't have time to wait for him.
We don't have time to wait.
Fuck no.
Okay.
Like fuck me. I sound like this, and I have more balls than him.
All right. So tell me what's going on at work? You know, it's like you turn down 2 jobs. You end up being the manager of a whorehouse, and then you quit after what is it, 24 or 48 hours?
Yeah, a day basically.
Did you do 1 day or 2 days?
Did a day and a half because yesterday I called.
Amazing.
Called off early. Like
So-
as soon as I went there, I started to realize that this place is going to shit.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You made this big stink for the past few weeks that you're gonna look for a job. It's like, Brian, I need a job. You know, I don't like the tattoo artistry. It's not a stable income. I don't like the other job. It's not a stable income. You turn down 2 legit jobs, and then you end up working the same job that you hated in the first place, and you last a day.
Yeah, well, if the bar was in, if the bar was in like a better state, I would have stayed.
All right. Well, so what are your prospects? What's Plan B?
Well, let's see.
Don't
I
get me
can
wrong. I'm only pretending to help you. I am laughing at your desperation.
Shut the fuck up. I can either like find another bar, or I can just sign up for the English teacher.
I thought you said that job was taken.
Yeah, I'll need to see again.
Nah, fine. Because this other business seems like bullshit. Everybody's unreliable, or they're a former working girl. They know nothing about business.
No, they don't. Like my boss was like a complete. Fucking
She
idiot.
sounds like a complete fucking spurg.
Like thing is, like she would give us a shit ton of money, basically. Like, wouldn't say like give us a shit ton of money.
What
but,
do you
like,
mean?
more
What do
like,
you mean a shit ton of money? She held your salaries.
Yeah, but like not that, but like whatchamacallit, I'm trying to like for my words here because I've been speaking too much Thai and I'm starting to forget about English. But let me get it.
It's been a day.
I know, but still, like the thing is, she would let us abuse the bar. Basically, we could drink whatever the hell we wanted. We could pick anything from the fucking bar.
Okay, that's why they're going bankrupt.
Yeah, and all of the fucking whores are like abusing the shit out
Yes,
of that.
because they're all alcoholics because they have nothing to live for.
Yeah, and they're like abusing the living shit out of the bar, and I'm just sitting there at my desk for a bit.
Weren't you supposed to be managing these bitches? Couldn't you keep their filthy claws off like the alcohol?
Yeah, but the boss told me that,
Vinny,
oh, it's fine.
if they're drunk before 10, how are you gonna put them to work? How are you gonna make any money? How are you gonna make any commission? What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's what my boss told me to do. My boss is like, yeah, you can let them drink. It's fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then like 4 hours later, when I was still working there, 4 hours later, then the boss told me to basically sit out, at the front of the bar because the whores aren't really working out that well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
so
they're not working out that well because they're fucking wasted.
Yeah, basically. Then I got wasted. I just sat there like a fucking zombie looking at fucking cars pass by because nobody wanted to get into our fucking bar.
Yeah,
It was abysmal.
who would want to hang out there? That's pathetic. 8 months, you say?
Yeah.
Hi. How do you get yourselves involved in these messes? I mean, you out of there are some shitty bars in Thailand, but like you had to take a job at like what sounds to be like the worst one.
Yeah, basically, barely any customers. There's like bars right next to us too.
That are doing a lot better than you, I imagine.
Basically, yeah, they're like basically packed.
And you look dead as fuck, and nobody's gonna go there because it's like everybody thinks something's wrong with your place.
Yeah, basically.
Those girls are just gonna quit. Those girls are gonna quit. They're not gonna make that bitch any money. They're gonna go work at the bars next door or somebody else. I mean, like, how are they looks wise? How are they personality wise? I imagine not that great.
Well, personality wise, they're fucking obnoxious. Looks wise, they look a little bit better than me.
So
yeah.
pretty terrible. Okay, fair enough.
Oh my god, Brian.
What? What did I say? You're the one who said it.
Oh, you don't look terrible. Oh, never mind. We just stop talking about this. Fuck,
Well, I'm just profoundly curious of, you know, your
Let's just stop.
your new managerial position, your uplifting in society. You've ranked up. You've ranked up. What can I say? People value your veteran status. Want you as a
said they're
manager.
fucking terrible.
It was just JK, man. Don't be like that.
Oh fucking shit.
I'm just trying to JK you. It's like I don't know. I'm a little obnoxious right now because I don't have any beats. And I didn't even pick my character.
You didn't?
What? You're Tachanka? You picked Tachanka?
Oh no, I didn't.
Exactly. We just kind of got in.
And it's kind of stuck. Oh, there you go.
No, it's going. It's going.
I don't know, man. Fuck it. It's in the past, you know.
It's
I don't wanna leave that shit behind.
in the past, as yesterday or this early this morning.
I just want to leave that shit behind because it was a really shitty job, honestly. Did
Yeah.
not enjoy it.
Well, it sounds
Oh
like
my
you didn't
God.
you didn't even do any work.
I didn't do jack shit. I was just like staying there like a jackass, just like staying there doing nothing. Because the manager told me to, you know, basically just let the girls do everything. I'm like, wait, I'm the fucking manager, right?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, just let them do it. You know, you'll just be there to, you know, fill in if, you know, anything goes wrong. I'm like, okay. Oh, they don't see the fucking drone. Morons. They can't see that fucking drone.
There's another one.
Oh, there was.
Oh,
Shut it
okay.
down.
Hold on, I'm reinforcing.
The guy's like, oh, someone shut the hatch, please. Please,
Yo, can
the
you
hatch,
scan?
Please. Can't.
Eh.
I'm fucking Tachanka.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, he's getting a rework, too. I
Who
don't know.
yeah, I heard he's getting like a flame grenade that sounds absolutely fucking useless.
Well, it can't be that bad. At least he can, like, you know, actually carry his fucking LMG now.
I suppose. Hold on. You got anything on? I don't see anything on cams.
Got nothing. I'm watching the objective.
Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna peek on my cams for a bit.
Oh, Jesus. Squad.
Where?
South. First floor.
South first floor.
Got one.
Hey, yeah. Hold on. You know, we got guys on the second floor.
Oh, shit.
Are you dead?
Yeah, Blackbeard got me in window.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not fucking with that. I'm gonna fuck with the guys upstairs.
Well, he's at the objective right now. Well, not in.
No, he ain't. He's outside.
I can't speak English anymore, Brian. What's wrong?
Are
with
you okay?
I don't know. Well, I've been drinking today to be, you know, just
Oh, you have?
to drown my sorrows.
Why? Because you're jobless?
Not really. Just think I can't really. Never mind. Just stop. I can't speak English right now.
You seem very low energy. Is everything all right? I'm just asking. You seem low energy.
I am. I'm kind of drunk right now.
Okay,
Thank
fair
you.
enough. I'm just asking.
Yes, of course.
I'm just concerned for your well-being, fam. Relax.
No, you're not.
I'm really not. I really don't give a fuck.
Jesus. No, I just feel. Oh shit! I don't have a bottle of vodka, so. Yeah.
You seem to have a lot of those lying around.
Oh, I do. I do. My friend came back from a trip to Malaysia and he brought me some vodka.
What friend?
My friend? What? Wait, what?
I said, what friend? I was like, I didn't realize you had friends.
God damn it, Brian.
I'm